Hello everyone. My name is Dowon Kim. I'm from Ritsumeikan University. I'd like to give a lecture for the principles for emergency response and a case study for landscape scale. So from now on, I would like to shut off my video because I would like to focus you to about my presentation. So enjoy. First of all, I'd like to introduce this is the whole disaster risk management cycle for cultural heritage. I know one of my colleagues also introduced this. So from my side, I would like to focus on this part which is during disaster. So right after the disaster, it needs a emergency response and first aid to the cultural heritage. Emergency. It's a sudden and usually unforeseen event, demands immediate action to mitigate its adverse consequences, underscoring the crucial role of emergency management professionals. An emergency can be classified primary because if it's a large proportion for the population. So, so usually it's very complex because it is combined with a security risk, political, civil disturbances, and hindrances to humanitarian assistance. So emergency situation, it always uh, the cultural heritage uh, emergency situation always combined with the different kind of risks. But why need to save the cultural heritage uh, amidst a humanitarian crisis? Because if you lost our cultural heritage value, it is very difficult to recover its value. So it's a high risk of losing the heritage value in the crisis. And on previous research, we found that there's a very special role in of cultural hits to or in the humanitarian recovery. So this is a picture of the Japanese recovery from the 2011 tsunami. And you can find that there's some ceremony is calling the people to gather in the committee to recover this cultural heritage. So, what is a cultural heritage first aid? This is a very immediate and interdependent actions to stabilize and reduce the further risks for the cultural heritage to promote its fast or long-term recovery. So these are the key objectives of emergency response. First, prioritize. Second, prevent further damage. Third, reduce risks. The last one is promote and plan the recovery of the associated communities and the heritage itself. Well, this is a very important point that an ethical framework for cultural first aid. Uh, as I said, the culture emergency situation of the culture heritage, it always combined with humanitarian crisis. But we always focus on people-centered first aid. And we need to understand context-specific response, which is we need to understand the historical context or cultural context of each cultural heritage. And we are requested to on inclusive attitude and respect for the diversity. There's always many diversity in culture heritage side, and we need to interlock culture with humanitarian assistance. But please don't harm the culture heritage. So this is a basic step for the emergency response. First is situation analysis. Second is on-site damage and risk assessment. Third is security and stabilization. It's uh, continue to the early recovery and also long-term recovery or long-term recovery. So, step one, situation analysis, which is when you need to identify who can who can be involved and when, where, how. We need to decide the timing. We need to decide the proper timing to enter the site. And also we need to analyze the type of heritage attributes affected. For the on-site assessments, we need to prepare and select the site. And based on the SWOT analysis, we need to specify the heritage. And for this, the purpose of the situation analysis is identity of the priorities for the for first aid. Secondly is on-site damage and risk assessment. So this step help determine the kind of security and stabilization actions needed to contain damage and reduce risks based on damage risk and significance. And it also helps to estimate cost. It is very important point because on the recovery, also emergency response, it needs cost. So these are the three key elements of an effective assessment. Collection, data gathering, compilation, data collection, and analysis. Visualization, which is overview and geolocation of data, prioritize, and resources for on-site action. And remember that there's intangible aspects in our cultural heritage. So we need to keen to people and their knowledge related tangible assets and transmission. Again, first aid action for cultural heritage needs coordination with humanitarian response to lead to recovery. So, who is a stakeholder? Which is they are the custodians and then emergency response coordinator. And also you need to consult with insurer before taking on-site actions because during your emergency response or first aid, there's there's a possibility of secondary damage. Damage. And who plans and implements cultural heritage first aid, which is trained cultural first aiders, cultural heritage professionals with experience of working in emergencies, trained first responders, trained volunteers. So we need to train the people to prepare the emergency response. So the qualities is ability to work under pressure and deal with uncertainty, resourceful, people-focused, and action-oriented. And they need physical and mental stamina. And also they need some and the very important thing is to understand the value of cultural heritage. You need to always coordinate with civil protection, military, DRM planners for the emergency response. So you need to also consider how you to coordinate with this kind of the disaster risk management experts. Well, ECROM site, you can find some damage assessment form or tool. So these are very good tool to make a damage assessment. But you need to also uh, find its uh, its its function for your site. So based on your site, you need to also uh, cust customize this tool to use it. The last step is security and stabilization. Action that stabilize the condition of the affected heritage and prevent further damage and loss through risk reduction. So you need to secure the site by the post signage, cover overhang materials, place guard, decontaminate, remove explosives. So when the situation of the emergency response or is civil uh, by the human terrorism, so you need to also consider the removed explosives. Um, during the step of security and stabilization, emergency stabilization of historic structure are buildings, as you can see. And also pre or post-event evacuation and relocation is very important. So you need to relocate this cultural heritage on the safe area. But remember, the logistic technical assistance, and surge capacity is very important key aspects on this phase. And also, you need to uh, salvage salvage by systemic way. So you need to also document of historic building, complex parts, and also decorate it and its objectives. And after you salvage, you need to stabilize this, stabilize spe stabilize the object or the damaged part to prevent further damage. So for this, you need to also prepare temporary storage. Lastly, you need to also consider intangible heritage. So the people, as I said, the people who are the important aspect for the culture heritage, they have a very important knowledge that they have, so that you also need to consider social help and consult with the community to recovery on this situation. Otherwise, they could not help uh, your first aid, also recovery. So these are the whole step for the for the uh, response. So I don't want to repeat again, but this please remember this step for the from the emergency response to connect with the first recovery. And these are the tool for the assessment, the assess the cultural heritage damage. So uh, we call it PDNA for cultural heritage post-disaster needs assessments. So this is for the tool for the calculate, inform, or cost and planning. But this is not detailed situation analysis, but this is quick and big, large scale, multi-sectoral level planning or calculate the costs. So this is on like a big framework to prepare the recovery with the international organization. So, but remember that they're always multi-hazard. So our disaster are not working alone, but it work together with the several kind of hazard. So in the situation of the multi-hazard, it is very difficult our experts to respond on the first phase. So local committee is always a very important aspect for the first response. Lastly, I'd like to introduce some cases in Japan. This is Typhoon Talos in 2011. This is picture taken by the committee in the temple, a shrine, and they are always keen to the this kind of landslide related hazard. So that's in the before the typhoon they took this picture, and then they also took this picture right after the disaster. So it's like this. um, People, the local committee or local stakeholder are very important because uh, reduce further risks on the and after during the emergency response phase, and also right after the post disaster, they can also collect the information of the damage situation. This is a Kiyomizu temple in Kyoto, and it located in the mountain area, so that it also affected by slope failures or landslide disasters several times. So that the Kiyomizu temple, they collaborate with our university, and then we installed the detection system and the alarming system on the mountainside, and then it alarms the experts and the temple committee to prepare the emergency situation. So this is conclusion for my presentation. We need to build capacity for emergency preparedness and first aid at three levels, which is enhancing coordination between cultural heritage institution and emergency management sector, networking, cooperation, and coordination with among the cultural heritage institutions, empowering community to participate in their recovery and response. The lastly, which is very important to compile this kind of thinking on integrate site management plan together with making disaster risk management for urban area cultural head complex. Thank you.